It's it's coming around to 6:15 now, and we're going to be talking about boxing because a recent charity boxing event to raise money for the mental health charity Man Down raised £14,000. It was organised by Clint Osborne from Evergisey, who returned to the ring after 25 years away, and he's with me now. Evening to you.
Tiffany, hello.
Hello, lovely to meet you. I've heard all about you. I know you've spoken to some of my colleagues before about this, but for people that haven't heard your story, you wanted to raise money for Man Down, and you thought boxing was the way forward.
Yeah.
But it meant kind of you haven't boxed for years, had you?
25 years. At the age of 53, I thought it was a good idea to jump in the ring and raise money, fight to help men keep fighting in Cornwall.
It's a wonderful idea. Looking back now, I mean, it must have been all the training and everything you had to start again. How easy was it for you to get back into that way of life that you'd kind of given up on almost?
It just seems incredible now that was me and that was the guys. A month ago now, we had the event in Evergisey. It was attended by 500 people. The social media was through the roof with it. We're in talks now with some big venues wanting to carry on with what we've started. And yeah, I look back at it and I went below 10 stone. I was 14 stone when I first had this idea. And then I went below 10 stone 2 weeks before the event and came up to 64 kg on the night to weigh in.
And how did you do that then? Literally a strict diet and exercise?
Yeah, that's all it was. It was a fighter's life, especially for the last 2 months. I was training twice a day in between my work commitments, and then obviously the food intake was the calories were really controlled, and we watched what we were doing with a personal trainer, PT Josh Pearce. He got me going for this. He got this 53-year-old body back in shape, and it was a journey, that's for sure.
And we all know actually, as we get older, I include myself in that, it's much harder, isn't it, to lose weight and things, and your body, you lose muscle and everything. So you're really up against it, getting to that stage that you could fight.
At 14 stone, 3 years ago, I gave up drinking, and I've had 2 full hip replacements. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries, and that's where my nickname comes from, the Bionic Barber. So, I was tagged that name, and that's when I went into the ring, the Bionic Barber.
And back in the day when you were boxing, did you clearly enjoyed it then? Did you enjoy it this time around as well, but in a different way maybe? Because the pressure was on you, but once you'd achieved what you needed to do to fight, you could enjoy it almost, could you? Or...
Yeah, no, there was 32 guys, 16 bouts of boxing, and my main aim was for these guys to go into the ring safely and come out of the ring safely, and being the main organizer of it with a lot of help from other people. It was a lot of pressure on me to deliver this boxing extravaganza that I'd promised everybody, and now it's finished. It feels a great weight off of my shoulders, and speaking to some of the other guys, their mental health journey has ended now with the boxing event, but it's a massive come down after something like that, after training so hard and trying to achieve something. It can be a massive come down for people, and it was for me, and I'm sure it is for a lot of the guys that participated.
And that's exactly why you want to help a charity like Man Down, who, we've spoken many times on the BBC about men aren't willing always to share the fact that they might have some mental health problems, but we are finding now actually more and more people are saying it's okay not to be okay. It's good to talk. But is that why you were so keen to help the charity?
Yeah, I was struggling 5 years ago. I felt like I lost everything. I had a marriage split, didn't see my children for some time, and I had 2 years there where I was really, really struggling. Massive dark place, a massive hole that I was in, and I managed to lift myself out of that and keep punching. As I keep saying to people, keep punching. And we got 27 meetings across Cornwall. We're going for 33 meetings, and we're helping guys in the community get back on their feet.
Well, that is amazing. And with this money, I mean, £14,000 is a huge amount for any charity. What are the plans? Do you know that Man Down will use that money for?
Yeah, it'll help guys go on retreats. It will. Some of the guys will be signposted to therapy sessions, and obviously, just keep pushing and paying for the venues where guys can walk in fortnightly. Wherever you are in Cornwall, you're literally a stone's throw away from one of these meetings where you can just walk in off the street, and you're met with warmth, empathy, and understanding. And come along if you're struggling. If you're in a family and you know somebody struggling in the family or any friends, signpost them to Man Down. They might get something from these meetings. You never know.
And would you say as well, you won't be judged when you go in, because I think there is that worry, isn't there?
Sure.
You think, I'm going to go in and they're going to all think, oh, who's this coming in now?
Yeah, you're going to be surprised. There's going to be guys that are already at the meetings, perhaps further down the line than you, that they're there to lift you and listen to you. And I've been involved with Man Down for about 4 years now, and I've seen these guys come back after getting help and lifting themselves. They've come back to the meetings to help others. It's really something special that we've got here in Cornwall, definitely.
And for you must be so proud of the achievement of raising all this money. But what I'm particularly interested in as well, you said 500 people came to watch these boxing matches.
Yeah.
I as someone that doesn't know a lot about boxing, but I always think, oh, it's those games, the pay per view on satellite channels. It's like those big games. It just shows how much interest there is in boxing, doesn't there, in Cornwall?
Yeah, I mean, combat sports in general. We were attended by just as many women as men. There was a lot of couples coming. There was a lot of VIP tables there. People paid extra to be seated and sit there with the dicky bows on. Mevagissey was really shining on that occasion. The whole community came together. There was ladies in the village that put bunting up in the marquee, and if anybody wants to check it out on YouTube, it's a charity boxing extravaganza, and you'll see the 16 bouts of boxing, and you'll see the way that the guys conducted themselves and raised money for a fantastic charity here in Cornwall.
Well, you must have known then when you had this idea that there would be the support for it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done it, because you can't put on an event and no one goes to it. As your job, you've already mentioned, you're a barber. Do people, because they know that you were a boxer, do people talk about boxing? Is there a lot of interest?
Yeah, I mean, boxing's big business on the television. We every week now there's something on to watch.
Yes.
With different pay-per-view channels, as you said, and different social media platforms. But I wanted to give boxing to the man in the street, and I wanted to give boxing back to Cornwall, and it was attended by granddads and fathers and sons and grandsons, and to see all these people together, some of them were there to support Man Down. They'd perhaps had suicide in the family, or had been affected by suicide or mental health, and they were all there together to support men's mental health in Cornwall, and they were socialising. I mean, as you know, these events haven't been able to be put together just recently with COVID and the restrictions we've had. So it was coming out the back of that. And yeah, I did wonder if it would be as successful as I wanted it to, but I needn't have worried. We sold the tickets within 48 hours of being available.
That's
in
amazing.
April. And we could have sold them, 2 or 3 times over. That's why the bigger venues are looking at us now. But it takes a lot out of you. I mean, it's took a lot out of me, personally, with my relationship, with business. It literally knocks you about like it does in the ring. But we're going to see what happens for next year, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, watch this space. There's a case of that. And did you find the other boxers from local clubs then?
Yeah, I mean, these were mainly guys that had turned up for registration very early in February and wanted to know more about it. And then from that, it snowballed. Once a few guys got involved, other people wanted to get involved, and I've had lots of people from all over the county now. When are you doing another one? Can I fight? And that's how it's gone. So it was a fantastic success, but it wouldn't have happened if the community didn't get behind me like they did. I mean, that's something we've got, I think, that other counties in the UK haven't got. We've got something very, very special down here, as you know.
Yeah, people are very generous, aren't they?
Sure.
Even if they can't financially help, they will do all they can to help behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And what was it like for you being back in a ring then after 25 years?
I trained hard for it. My opponent was 20 years younger than me, and in sparring he'd caught me a few times, and I knew I was going to be in a fight, and we jumped in the ring together, and he smacked me with a couple of good punches, and I just got stuck in, and I managed to get the stoppage, and I was very pleased that I did.
Do you think that you'll carry on doing that, or you're happy now just to maybe think about organising things rather than go back in the ring?
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that again and put my body through that again. I've literally put on nearly a stone again now, and put on a bit of chunkiness around my face again, and I really did look like I was boiled down to nothing for this. I don't want to put myself through that again, or my family or anybody around me, because it takes over your life. If you're going to do something, you need to give it 110%, and I gave it 1,000%. So I was pleased that I left some demons in the ring on that occasion. I needed to put a lot of things to bed, challenge myself as an older guy. Had a lot of upset in my life over the last few years, and I'm getting emotional just thinking about it now. But for me, that was a way of putting that side of things to one side, doing away with it, and now I can crack on and have a peaceful life.
You've achieved that, which is amazing. And you'll continue, I suppose, to support Man Down as well. And do you get, and obviously you can't talk about, specifics, but do you get people who maybe come in to you to have their hair cut or whatever, and you can sense that they need to go and talk to someone? Did you suggest Man Down?
I do. Everybody knows that I'm involved with Man Down. Some guys come in just to talk about that, and what would it be like if I came to a meeting, and is it okay, and what shall I do, what am I to expect, and they come in the shop. I give them a cup of tea, have a chat. Even if they don't want a haircut, I'll sit in the corner and have a talk with them. Some guys are going through some very complex situations in their life, and because I've been through stuff myself, I can understand and listen to them.
Oh, it's incredible that they've got you as well. When you found out, when the final pennies were counted and you got to that total, were you expecting that amount of money?
In the back of my mind, I was hoping that we could reach £10,000. I thought that's a big target, £10,000. But it soon became apparent that, the guys that fought on this event, and some of them were fishermen, some of them were local trades lads, some of them were, lads that had been training, that had always wanted to do something like this. Some of them were amateur boxers back when they were younger. Some of them have fought professional. So many different walks of life. And these guys wouldn't usually, end up together, but we ended up together as this sort of group of guys that wanted to help each other get over the finishing line. The finishing line was the event in Mevagissey, September the 10th. And we didn't leave a man down. We lifted each other, and we all got over the finishing line together, which was a fantastic achievement.
No, it certainly is. And doesn't it just show as well that sport can bring people together, like the group of men you said that probably would never socialise together, but then it brought people together to come and watch it as well, and it's very unique in that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a tremendous thing, and guys have gone away now with friendships for life, and people were networking at the event, and there's a table of builders sitting next to a table of estate agents, and there was some boating people there, and Johnny Cowling was there, Shane from the Cornwall channel was there. It was a who's who. There was some really fantastic people ringside, giving their time and efforts and money and fundraising. And it was absolutely through the roof. I couldn't have wished for anything, better than what happened. But it's a massive come down. I've struggled with a bit of direction now. I've been training twice a week instead of twice a day, so just ticking over. And some of the guys have had a real knockback. That sense of direction that they had is not there anymore, and they've had to grab hold of themselves again, and try and fill that void with something else, whether it be family, business, continue training. It can be a big come down. So I've been keeping my eye on a few, and they've been looking after each other, definitely.
Oh, that is good to hear. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It's wonderful to meet you, and congratulations. So £14,000, and as you said there, you can do a little search online if people want to see a little bit about what it was like. Yeah,
they can follow us on Facebook. There's a Facebook page, Charity Boxing for Man Down. Like I say, there's a YouTube channel. They can revisit those fights. But you know, watch this space. Never say never. I need to get back on track myself after something like that. It really took a lot out of me. But I know there's people screaming for something next year, so you never know. Never say never.
Exactly. Well, thank you for coming in. Wonderful to meet you today.
Okay, Tiffany, thank you so much for having me on the show. I always say keep punching, but follow man down, check out what we're about, and you know, if we can help any males that anybody might possibly know that are struggling out there right now. It's going to be a difficult time, the winter time coming. You know, the male role in the family is going to be tested for a lot of guys, I know. So guys out there, you know, keep punching. I'm thinking of you.
Thank you so much. That's Clint Osborne from Evergizzy talking about returning to the ring and raising thousands of pounds for the mental health charity Man Down. Oh, thank you very much.
That's right. Was that live? Was that live?
It was live, yes.
Ah, okay.
Didn't you know?
Yeah, I thought you might be putting it on later or something.
No,
oh, okay.
sorry.
Well, that's good.
Didn't mean to let you know about that.
Oh, excellent.
You've got your thing still on.
Yeah.
But you